there was someone following us back to our car. And he got in the back seat and put a knife to my throat and told her to drive. But then something happened with him, and he started visiting me in my room at night. And at this point, I was 7. And I was afraid, and I told my mother, and she didn't seem to believe me. She said, "Oh, it's just because your dad's not around. Stop making up stories." So I was quiet and I let it be. And so I avoided my grandfather as much as I could at that point in time. I hated bedtimes because he would come in to say goodnight, and I would just pretend I was asleep so that I didn't have to touch anything. And he eventually stopped, but then my grandmom, I learned a lot about her during this time. I had broken my arm outside playing with my brother, and my grandmother, when I got back from the hospital, decided that the cast wasn't put on correctly. So she took it off and tried to reset my arm and put it back on. And I told my mom, and again, she didn't believe me. And eventually, when I didn't stop crying, she took me back to the doctors and they fixed it. But at that point in time, I realized my mom wasn't for me anymore.
What about your dad? What kind of relationship did you have with him?
I had a great relationship with my dad. And when the divorce came, she just kind of kept us away from him. He didn't, I thought it was his fault until I got older and I realized that my mom took us away from him and we moved like a lot. So, and she would never like keep in touch with him as to where we were. But up until that time of the divorce, until later on in my life, when we reconnected, I had a great relationship with him. There was never any bad times there.